If David were to engage in physical battle, he cannot make it. It's not possible. That is what a Goliath situation is. If you have ever faced a situation like that where you look at your physical realities and they don't compute with the problems you face, you are facing a Goliath moment. Just like the children of Israel faced the Red Sea and they began to capitulate and began to speak words of death. When you face a Goliath and you look at the enormity of the problem, the bigness of the problem, and you look at it with the eyes of the senses. Remember the tripartite nature of human, right? You look at it with the eyes of the senses, you also are going to be afraid. And that's the reason why David made a statement and said, let's look at what David said. David said, This day, the Lord will give you into my hand. This day, the Lord will give you into my hand. He said, you have defied. It's not me you have defied. It's not these armies of Israel you have defied. You have defied the God of Israel. And this day, the same God that you have defied will give into your hand. Now that statement there is what God is asking from you. You face the giant moment, all right. You face the Goliath moment, all right. But what is your confession? Are you going to be like Moses that spoke to the children of Israel and said, be still, and today you will see the salvation of the Lord? Or are you going to be like the children of Israel who says, is it because there are no graves in Egypt? That's why you brought us here to die. Will you allow your heart to speak the words of death, vocabularies of death? Will you see the worst case scenario in the situation and vocalize it out of your mouth? Or will you stay on the side of God and say, if God be for us, no one can be against us? David was a man just like us. But one key thing we learned from him was, he said, you have defied the army of the Lord. You have defied God himself. And the God whom you have defied will give you into